Loy Krathong is one of Thailand's most beautiful festivals, and so is Yipeng, and they're both celebrated at the same time. What's the difference between Loy Krathong and the Lantern Festival? What are Thai people actually celebrating? And where is the best place to celebrate? Also, how can you celebrate respectfully? This year will be my fourth time celebrating Loy Krathong in Thailand. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lizzie. I'm half Thai, half Austrian, and I spend most of my time as a digital nomad in Thailand. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Loy Krathong. And if you're watching this in 2025, this year might be slightly different, and I'm going to tell you why later in the video. But first, let's start with what this festival is all about. What's the difference between Loy Krathong and Yipeng? Loy Krathong is usually celebrated on the 12th cycle of the moon. Just like any Thai celebration, they make it based on the lunar cycle, just like Songkran, which is the New Year celebration. So the date changes every year. You can watch this video if you want to learn more about Songkran. Thai people celebrate Loy Krathong to thank the water goddess. It's to say thank you for a good year, to give enough water for the rice, and for finishing the rainy season. It's a celebration towards the winter season in Thailand, which is going to start the colder time. Like, it's not really cold in Thailand ever, but it's a bit more chilly than usual. Loy actually means to float, and Krathong is this offering that you see. It's usually made of banana leaves, but people have become quite creative when it comes to the designs of that. You will see a ton of them floating in the water, and it's this beautiful view of the candles along the river floating with the stream. And it's symbolizing of letting go of things that happened in the past year. And again, it's to say thank you to the water goddess, which ironically is a little bit contradicting because people are basically polluting the waters. Please keep in mind when you go and choose a Loy Krathong that you choose one that is not going to harm the environment. Some of them are now made of fish food and it deteriorates in the water, but many of them, even those that look like they're just nature and plants, they're floating on styrofoam. So please keep in mind when you pick one of the krathongs that you choose one that doesn't harm the river and doesn't pollute too much. And I know when you go to Loy Krathong and you see all the stands along the river and people are selling those krathongs to you, they range between, let's say, 40 baht to even they can be quite expensive. They can be expensive, 200 baht or more, depending on what material went inside and the craftsmanship. But please know that you're basically putting trash in water. And yes, it looks beautiful. It's super stunning. But whatever you put in the water either goes into the ocean or is going to be pulled out at the end. So there are some barriers to stop some of the pollution, but of course there's always something that goes through. Some of the krathongs might deteriorate and there will be some nails that will stick things together. So you have these metal nails in the ocean, which isn't ideal either. So please, when you celebrate, be mindful. Maybe think twice if you're just okay to observe everyone letting go and doing those offerings, or do you really also need to do that? Is it okay if you can just observe? However, if you choose to buy a krathong, be mindful of it, check the materials, make sure that it's not plastic or anything that can harm the ocean. And I understand, maybe you're watching this video because it's once in my life that I'm going there for the festival, so I want to participate in everything, and it's just going to be me, and I'm just going to do this one Loy Krathong. That's fine, but also know that there are hundreds of thousands of people coming to Thailand just to celebrate Loy Krathong. And it's also domestic people, but it's also a lot of foreigners. It's almost 1 million people that come to Thailand just for those festivities. So if all of these people think, oh, it's just one Loy Krathong, it's just one lantern, that adds up. One way to be sustainable is maybe instead of having one krathong per person, you can share with your friends. So one of my friends really wanted to release one of the offerings and she just asked me to join. So it's not about saving money, it's about reducing the amount of krathongs that are going to the water because it is a lot of pollution. So Loy Krathong is actually just the offerings in the water. It's not the lanterns. And that is celebrated across all of Thailand. If you do want to see the lanterns, you have to go to the Lana area, which is the north of Thailand. That's the Yipeng festival. Yipeng is when people release the lanterns to the sky. And again, very similar to Loy Krathong, where it's a thank you for the water goddess. The lanterns are a tribute to the sky. And again, just by thanking the sky, thanking the universe, you're polluting it. Because maybe you're not directly impacting the sky because everything that comes up goes down, but you cause pollution. However, it's super beautiful, so I do get why people go there. And again, this will be my fourth time having seen it in Chiang Mai. So it is very beautiful. It is a very calming thing. But again, it does impact the environment. So just be mindful. You don't need to release a Loy Krathong every single year. You don't need to release 10 of them on a day. You can share that. You can share Loy Krathong with friends. You can like have a poem in your mind, whatever it is, but you can still release that together with your friends. The Lantern Festival is absolutely stunning to witness. It has some calmness to it. It's so beautiful. It's just mesmerizing. But it can also be a bit scary because sometimes the wind brings the lanterns to a spot that you didn't expect. Sometimes they get stuck in trees. Some people even put like sparklers or other things with the lantern. So it might, like some people are even crazy and put like fireworks with it. It can also be very dangerous. And it's not just dangerous for the people participating. It can be very dangerous for the people that live in the areas where the Loy Kratong are released. It didn't happen once or twice. It happens almost every year during the Lantern Festival that the lantern is still burning and lands on someone's roof. And then the house burns down. So this happens. Be very, very mindful. If you can, I mean, you can avoid it. Do not release them inside the old town because you never know where they're going to be carried. And there's like no way to trace who the perpetrator is. Like, and I know people don't want to harm or burn down another house on purpose. It's not about the intention. It's about the risk that can happen. So when you're celebrating, go to areas where it's dedicated for the lamps, where there's a certain safety space around it so it doesn't burn down someone's home. So I also want to ask you the same thing as I did with the Loy Krathong, that when you do release the lanterns, that you maybe share it with your friends, or maybe you just go to participate and watch. It's actually much nicer to be a bit from a distance and just observe them go to the sky and people watch and just don't just look at the lanterns, look at the people, look how they kind of go into themselves and release things, saying thank you, letting go. It's an amazing place for people watching. It's very, very beautiful. Letting go of the lanterns is to let go of bad luck and misfortunes. But Yipeng doesn't just mean it's about the lanterns. There are usually also a lot of parades happening. Those parades usually represent something about Thai culture. Last time I went to Chiang Mai, they had a parade where each of the groups that passed represented a different time period. So you can see based on what they were wearing and the clothing, it might be a different kingdom, it might be from a different century. So it's super nice to watch and the costumes and dances are so beautiful. So where do you celebrate Loy Kratong and Yipeng? Like I said before, for Yipeng, you have to go to the Lana area, which is the north of Thailand. My favorite place to celebrate, and I've only ever celebrated there, is Chiang Mai, for obvious reasons. Like, I just love Chiang Mai. It's perfect for me being a digital nomad. It's only like a 2-hour drive away from where my grandma is, so I spend most of my time there. I love it there. I feel very comfortable there. But also, it gets extremely busy. Like, generally, Loy Krathong time in Thailand is busy in the main cities, and Chiang Mai is not an exception. It gets very, very crowded. Make sure you book your accommodation way in advance because the best spots are going to be booked and it's barely possible to find a location in Thailand if you leave it last minute. Another place I haven't celebrated there yet. I always try, but I just leave my planning way too late and then I'm just like, oh, I'll just stay in Chiang Mai. But a place where I heard that it's very nice to celebrate is Sukhothai. Sukhothai is very important for Thailand. It was the first capital when Thailand was still Siam. If you do celebrate in Chiang Mai, there are usually 2-3 main days. And it seems that one day people tend to go to the rivers, watch the parade, and the other day people go and release the lanterns, which are happening by a lake a little bit outside of the Chiang Mai town center. Last year, I feel like on the first day, most people were releasing the lanterns, and the second day, everyone was at the parade. I like to swap it around because then it's still busy, but it's a little bit less busy and less crowded. So I like to do the parade first and then the lanterns the next day. So the best way to celebrate is you start at Taipei Gate, then you watch the parade from there. You can walk along the river, get some street food on the way, get yourself a little katong, and again, be mindful which one you purchase. Or you can even make your own. You can put some plants together and make your own katong. Maybe something that deteriorates. Maybe just use banana leaves. Be creative. If you don't want to release anything in the ocean, you can also make your own lanterns. There are some temples that offer that you can build the lanterns and they're not going into the ocean. They are actually going to stay with the temple. And one of the reasons they have those lanterns there is because back in the days, they would guide the people to the lanterns at night. One thing that you might see around when you go to Chiang Mai is the Yipeng festival promotion. And well, promotion might be the wrong word, but there is a place where they pick you up in vans and they bring everyone to that location. And then everyone releases the lanterns at the same time. That event is around $100, and I've met a few people who have been, but you don't need to pay that to see the lanterns. Some of them say that it was worth the money because everyone releases them at the same time, and it does create it creates this whole waft of lanterns. However, for $100 in Thailand, you can get a lot of different stuff. I'd rather that money go to some local restaurants, local Thai craftsmen, and I'd rather you spend that money elsewhere. So it goes to the villagers. You can basically spend that money elsewhere. Maybe get a couple of massages. There's better things to do with this money than to just go to a festival so everyone releases the lantern at the same time. Again, I think the best place to celebrate is where the river is. I'm going to add the link in the description where the location is. It's a little bit outside. And what I usually do is I order a taxi. And again, you have to book them in advance because it can get very, very busy. If you have your own bike, if you have your own car, you can go there by yourself. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lizzie. I'm a freelance UX designer and digital nomad. And this channel is all about how you can create a work life that works for you. So I usually talk about freelancing and entrepreneurship, like in the Freelance Blueprint podcast. I also talk about being a digital nomad and all the things that you can do while you're traveling, like in this video. So if these topics are things that you're interested in, don't forget to hit subscribe. It is very tricky with parking spots, so that's why I like to just book a driver, because then you can just get out of the car and they try and find to park somewhere while you can already enjoy the celebrations. And then you just call them again a couple of minutes before you want to go back, and then they will pick you up and you don't have to worry. To avoid the traffic, go early. I remember once we even drove there at 5 before it was even dark, and people started releasing the lanterns before there was sunset, which was also beautiful, but also you actually see all of them coming back down, because during the night, you only see the lit up lanterns going up, but during the day, you see the burnt out ones falling back down, and you don't know where they land. And you know that they're going to land somewhere in between the trees, and that it's going to impact the nature there, the animals there. So it's also good to see that everything that goes up comes back down. Other times, we might have left a little bit too late, and then we were stuck in the traffic for I think once we were stuck in the drive itself is about 20 minutes. And I think it took us almost an hour to get there because it was just so busy. So maybe leave around 6 the latest, because you don't want to be stuck in traffic all the time. But also those celebrations can be a bit late. Maybe I haven't done that, but maybe it's even better if you leave at 8 or something when most of the people have already gone, because people are releasing the lanterns, I think, all night. In Chiang Mai, the parade starts from the Taipei Gate, which is the most famous part of the ancient wall around Chiang Mai. And then it goes all the way down to Peng River, where you can see the Loy Krathong festival. If you ever celebrated Loy Krathong in other parts of Thailand, please leave a comment below. I would like to know where you celebrated and what it was like, because I would like to come again when it's less crowded and a bit more calm. I do think Chiang Mai has been very hyped around Loy Krathong time, and it is very busy. And I've seen it many times now. I'm usually there at that time because the weather is good. My family usually comes to Thailand around that time. So that's why I tend to celebrate there. And this year is actually going to be the first time my mom is going to come. So I'm super excited about that. But if you know about other places, please leave it in the comments below. All right, now you know what Loy Kratong is, you know what the Yipeng festival is, and you know where to celebrate. But as I mentioned earlier in this video, this year, 2025, might be slightly different. And that's because Queen Sirikit has died. She's not the current queen, she's the queen's mom, but she was very loved by the Thai people. After she passed away, to honor her, Thailand announced 1 year of mourning. 1 year. Which means that during that time, there won't be celebrations and dances. Even the gym that I'm signed up to sent an email to everyone saying that there won't be Zumba classes. So that's just for context, the kind of level Thailand takes its mourning. Why does Thailand mourn this way? If you're watching this video, I assume you might be from Europe, maybe from the US, and you're not really raised with a monarchy. People respected the Queen in the UK, for example, and England mourned when the Queen died. Several people mourned because for most of us, the Queen has been there our entire life. And it's the same in Thailand. Queen Sirikit was there for most of people's lives. She was reigning the country for a very, very long time. And she did a lot for Thai culture. She was the one that traveled to several villages and made sure that Thai's craftsmanship, the weaving, the silk production, and everything stays important and gets international acknowledgement so that the people that create this craftsmanship can actually live from it. She's also one of the reasons why Thai craftsmanship is still so well known. And she made Thai clothing modern again while she was the queen. There's even a whole museum dedicated just to her clothing. And that's one of the favorite parts in Wat Pageo. Wat Pageo is the main temple in Bangkok. If you're visiting Thailand and you end up in Bangkok and you want to visit some of the temples but don't know which one, I recommend that you watch this video. And I do also mention the Queen Sirikit Museum because it's in Wat Pageo and it's actually my favorite part of all of Wat Pageo. I'm pretty sure that this museum is going to be visited a little bit more in the next few months because of her passing away, but it's definitely worth a visit. So if you're in Thailand for Loy Krathong in 2025, please be mindful that Thai people are mourning. Don't wear too many bright colors, like don't wear yellow or red. Wear something muted, wear something black. And please don't be disappointed that one time, the 1 year that you chose to come to Thailand for Loy Krathong is the year where the queen passed away. Be mindful, be respectful. And actually, in a way, it might be nicer because it might be a bit more calm. But also the places where there are a ton of tourists who don't know that Thailand is mourning, there might still be celebrations happening. There might still be some things going on. Just be aware. You're a visitor, you're a tourist, respect the locals, and don't do anything that they wouldn't do. So that's one thing that I want you to take away. Respect the locals and respect that this year they lost their queen. And the other thing is that when you celebrate, be mindful of the trash that you're creating. Thailand in general uses a lot of single-use plastic, unfortunately. There are some recyclable, biodegradable things coming, but it's not the standard. Also, the kratongs themselves, the lanterns, it's basically trash that you release into the environment. Just be mindful of that when you choose your materials, or maybe you can just reduce the amount of offerings that you've let go in the water and the lanterns that you're gonna throw in the air. Because again, maybe you just light one lantern, but so are all the 1 million people that are coming to Thailand for this celebration. So be mindful of that. However you celebrate, I hope you have an amazing time. And if you're watching this video, I assume that you're coming to Thailand. So I recommend that you watch this video next. If in general you want to learn more about Thai festivities, maybe you want to learn more about Songkran, which is the water festival. So for that, I recommend that you watch this video. Thanks for watching and I see you at the next video. Bye!